There are some childhood films that just gives you a feeling of reassurance that goes deeper than nostalgia. It's like a religious experience where there's a message about life that sometimes you just need to be reminded of. A simple message. That film for me is Rugrats in Paris. I know, right? Rugrats, if you didn't grow up with it, was like the Breaking Bad of my generation, in the sense that they're both about bold guys leading other people through their delusions. This is the second installment of the epic film trilogy that actually got distributed in cinemas. It was before streaming. As a result, the film was obliged to have greater narrative ambitions. It explores how to live without a mum. Let that sink in.
Something changing your mind.
The plot is that Stu Pickles has to fix the Raptor in Euroraptor.
Why didn't you people just follow my design? I use paper clips and rubber bands for a reason!
Thus, he brings the whole family with him, all while Chucky has an existential crisis over missing his long-deceased mother. He wants the Raptor princess to be his new mum, but then Coco, the head of the resort, wants to improve her chances in the upcoming present position by making a move on Chucky's gullible dad, Chaz, to show she carries the company's family values. And it works, precisely because she pretends to be the princess. Saying the plot out loud, it doesn't sound too remarkable. There's enough identifiable emotional weight for the parents to sympathize and grasp with the developing narrative beats, while there's also enough room for faffing about in the middle for the little kids. In this case, babies running amok with Who Let the Dogs Out playing in the background. But as a piece of children's media, what left a really strong impression on me is how it provides really strangely confident answers for deeply complicated human problems. Rugrats in Paris, every time I say this title out loud I feel increasingly more embarrassed, is a film about the conflict between randomness and making bargains. Chucky's crisis doesn't actually begin with losing his mom. Time had healed enough for it to require him to dig deep into himself.
Oh, just pick something already!
When asked by Angelica what wish he once answered, the rest of his actions are all motivated by answering this very painful want in a psychological arms race where, as he longs for a mother more and more, he inflates his desire for unimportant, impossible things like immortality and magic sparkles, all literally exposited by the Cyndi Lauper song, I Want a Mom Who Lasts Forever. The princess from Euroraptor is chosen because of her fictitious story in looking after Raptor forever and ever and ever, a permanence that matches Chucky's inflated hole in his chest.
Forever and ever.
However, the film makes sure we know this won't in any way work, because the princess is not a consistent character. She'll be an actress in a parade, an animatronic, a performer on stage that Coco pretends. The entire ordeal we know is always going to be a disaster, and it reaches its explosive results when Chucky breaks down.
I don't need the magic and sparkly dust. All I want is a real mommy like you guys got. I want a mommy who smiles and talks nice to me and tucks me in at night and tells me stories and who loves me.
Chucky isn't presented as a greedy fool in this film. He's someone who deserves so much more but is denied for fundamentally approaching life incorrectly. When he was asked what he wanted, he thought he was entitled to an outcome. However, the film presents love as something that's fundamentally random. Spike finds a new love interest, Fifi, just from looking out the balcony for the right second. Chaz doesn't end up with Coco, but with her assistant, Kira. There's no dramatic importance given to their connection, just a few moments where they clearly have chemistry, and at the end, they discover they love the same poet. The entire process is natural and random.
You know that poet?
Furthermore, the reason why Chucky overcomes his existential crisis has nothing to do with redirecting his preference to Kira. It's from accepting life as it is and becoming stronger from it. He rolls up his sleeves and declares he's gonna stop Coco. His first words is canonically, no.
He said his first word.
The idea of wanting something so much that you genuinely believe that you won't be eternally happy until you get it is an emotional process called affective forecasting. I love bringing up affective forecasting, probably because I'm in my mid-20s where your dreams die. There's a quote from scholars Wilson and Gilbert which I think wonderfully summarizes Chucky's mistake. People might misconstrue the nature of complex social situations when imagining them in advance, and thereby mispredict the dominant emotion that they will experience. What Rugrats in Paris presents is an attitude towards life where entitlement is the greatest source of pain in a random world. However, randomness is also one of the greatest sources of joy. Therefore, the best way to live is to just look around curiously. Enjoy what you do have, let go of anticipation while be open to new things. you know, like a baby. The opposite to this attitude is symbolized through the need to make bargains, to keep trying to beat the randomness of life and get what the characters feel entitled to. This is precipitated across the motivations of the villains. Angelica works with Coco so she can have her own section in the parade and be a flower girl, while Coco hates people so much that she needs Kira to be on her earpiece to help her with Chaz. She only cares about her career, and the scene that really highlights how symbolically diametrically opposed she is with the main message is when she's in Ooey Gooey World. Chaz is singing along in a place made for babies, and she's hiding her sheer irritation. The key to enjoying something as random as not knowing when you might get goo splashed on your face is simply just have fun with it. Take it on the chin. Think with the heart of a child. In fact, that's the very thing the president is looking for in his successor.
I have made millions for this company.
The candidate should not be concerned only with money. They must understand what it means to bring joy to children. In fact, they themselves must have the heart of a child.
Where true love is symbolized by natural stuff like clouds and poetry, the enemy of love is the more mechanical perspective that it's a transaction built on entitlement. How does the film begin? Literally with a Godfather parody saying Grandpa's Lou's wedding, where Angelica is offering favors, but she's less interested in actually granting happiness, but is more looking for opportunities to abuse people.
I don't get to squeeze no one's head or pull no one's hair.
At the end, Chucky's given the same position at Chaz's wedding, but he rejects giving Angelica anything because he recognizes her insincere entitlement.
Stuff that I can't never get.
It should also be noted that Angelica gets a redemption arc when she sees what she's done and becomes more protective of the babies. Another thing that I notice is that the film diffuses any potential conflict there could be with moving on. Grandpa Lou at the beginning says,
Yep, she's a keeper. Of course, no one will ever replace your mother. It's her love in here that helped this old geezer love again.
At the end, Chucky proclaims,
I guess I'm lucky. I got two mommies to look after me now.
love is neither finite nor material in nature. It's a feeling defined by simply knowing you are cared for. It requires a part of your mind to be consistently imaginative in a really, really sincere way. The needs of a child, the responsibilities of an adult, and the freedoms of elderliness, they're not all that different, because the barriers between them are all just a matter of imagination. This is why, no matter how old I am, the film always gives me a reassuring feeling.
I am so confused right now, baby. Didn't work for us, didn't work for us. And I guess it's over now, baby. Didn't work for us, didn't work for us.
This goddamn Rugrats video was an absolute pain to make because I had to make the entire thing twice. The first time I made it, I basically hated it, and then I had to redo it from scratch. So I went from absolutely loving and adoring the process of writing about this film to feeling nothing but resentment. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed it, especially my pals on Patreon. I'm gonna do a bunch of really diverse stuff, and you guys are the most reassuring presence ever. Haha.